Okay.
So I want to welcome Christy from Fasting for the Health of It to my page today. And she's going to talk, I'm not going to talk today for a change. She's going to talk about how she came across fasting and how she uses it actually for a different reason. Most people use it for weight loss, but that actually hasn't been your story, Christy. So
Right.
I'm going to let you go ahead and take the floor.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I have been following your page for quite some time, and you are quite an inspiration to a lot of people. And
You're very
so
welcome.
it's wonderful to be here, and I feel honored that you were wanting to visit with me. Yeah, I came into fasting completely by accident. It's interesting. I started fasting back in August of 2020. And how I was introduced to fasting is my boyfriend often sends me YouTube videos just saying, I think you might be interested in this. Look at this. The funny thing is that he sent me a video on fasting, but he said, I know the video's about fasting, but that's not what I want you to look at. There's, at minute such and such, there's something. And to this day, I have no recollection of what it was that he originally was wanting me to look at, because I was kind of intrigued by the fasting video. Like I said, that was about a year and a half ago. I was 51 at the time. I'm 53 now, as a woman who had gone through menopause at that time. I was at that point where, even though I've never had a true weight issue, we all know that as women, when we hit menopause, your weight just gradually creeps up on you.
Yeah,
and
particularly in your belly area, your stomach.
I was gonna, yes, exactly. That you pegged it, because I was saying, I kept saying, oh my gosh, I have such a mom belly now. I have a mom belly. I don't want a mom belly. So anyway, I became interested in fasting because of that video. And when I'm interested in something, I try to gather as much information as I can. I follow accounts such as yours. I read books, do whatever. So I was introduced to Jen Stevens' book, Fast, Feast, Repeat, and I just ate it up, because I think learning the why and the how of something is important to fully buy in.
Exactly. It's not just a little quick fix that you just want a little bit. You want all the knowledge, all the information.
Absolutely. And it makes it much easier then to understand why things are happening or not happening. Okay.
And it makes it easier for your results, because the results are not always going to go just exactly how you expect it to go.
No, not at all. And so, I started fasting. Was it easy? No, it wasn't, because I'm one of those people in the beginning was like, not eat for 17 hours. Are you kidding me? And I would be a nail biter. Like right when we got, I would be watching the clock. Oh, it's 16 hours and 55 minutes. And, I would just be waiting and waiting and waiting. So it was not fun in the beginning. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was challenging, but anything worth doing is challenging. That's
100%.
The thing with all these other weight loss gimmicks. Weight loss gimmicks, they try to make it look like it's going to be so easy, and it's the weight's just going to fall off. If that happens, it's not sustainable. It's not going to work. So anyway, I started fasting. I initially lost 10 pounds, mostly in my belly area, which was exactly where I wanted to lose it. And so, I was sold at that point. And so I have been fasting ever since. I have tweaked and changed and, found what has worked for me.
For you.
Yes. I think that's the key. There is
100%.
no one size fits all.
No. And even from doing my page, I get people asking me all the time, what's that program that lady's doing, or what is that, plan? You can't follow somebody else's plan. You have to find what works for you. Somebody might never do a 20-hour fast. Somebody may always stick with 60 and 70, but you have to find what works for you. So I'm glad you said that, actually.
Right. On the internet, it's funny because you have one extreme to the other. You have the very purist fasters that say you have to get rid of every single thing. You have to get rid of coffee, you have to get rid of alcohol, you have to get rid of sugar, you have to get rid of this, you have to get rid of that. And on the other end, you have fasters who say, I was able to lose weight eating
And have milk.
McDonald's every
Yeah.
single day, you know? And so, you know, like in the bell curve, these are the 2% that the extreme works for them. These are the 2% the extreme works for them. The
And we are all
other
in between.
96%, yeah, we're all in at a variation in the middle there, and you have to find what works for you. But you said in the beginning that I didn't come to fasting necessarily for the weight loss, and you're right. I mean, I did come to fasting for the weight loss, but that is not where my transformation has taken place. I've started my Instagram page, Fasting for the Health of It. And when I'm looking at yours and many other of the accounts, I'm always like, geez, you know, their before and after pictures are real attention grabbers. And, you know, I admire your transformations, your physical outside transformation.
But it's shocking that we can't show the mental transformation in a
Yes.
picture. And I say this to people all the time. I can only show you my picture to show this amazing that you'll go, wow. But I wish I could show what the transformation is in here and in my life in general and how I feel, and exactly the same as you. But we can't. It's only through knowledge and through talking about it that we can show that. And it's only through people trying fasting that they can experience that.
Right. And if you give fasting if you give it enough time, you will see those transformations. There's 100%, you know, without a doubt, you're going to look in the mirror one day and go, my face, I look I'm glowing, you know, my skin looks so much better.
If you had to pick, Christy, one thing that you are thankful to fasting for, what would it be?
One thing that what?
That you're thankful to fasting for, what would it be?
What I'm thankful for fasting for is the inside transformation, because I do have a background of having, in college, I had an eating disorder. And I look at eating disorders almost like you're a recovered alcoholic, except your drug is something you have to live.
I always say that to people. It's the hardest addiction is food addiction, because you can't cut it out. You can't stop a cold turkey. You have to live with it.
Exactly. And so that transformation has been the biggest, how I view food, how I don't look at myself as being good today or bad today because of the things I ate. What you eat has nothing to do, you know, the type of person you are and your character has nothing to do with your food choices for the day.
Or the guilt and the shame that is attached with eating certain foods or eating a certain way, and how we punish ourselves. And when you get the freedom from that through fasting, it's a lovely place to be.
No, I 100% guarantee, I 100% agree with that. And so I think that has been the thing I've been the most thankful for, is the fact that I don't have to struggle with belittling myself or being hard on myself or punishing myself the next day. You know, fasting and exercise should never be something that you use as punishment for your body. They're gifts for your body.
And to be thankful for the body that you have and how far it has brought you. And I love the challenge behind seeing the improvements in your body, seeing the improvements in your mind, seeing the improvements that fasting has given us and exercise has given us, and embracing the change and enjoying it and saying, oh, I couldn't jump over that wall yesterday and now I can. You know, it's enjoying them little things. In relation to your page, because we only have like a very short time to talk, in relation to your page, what message do you hope to get out there? I know you're obviously an advocate of fasting like myself, but what is your page to you?
My page to me is, I want to show people that fasting doesn't have to be made of those extremes. There are days when your fast is going to be perfect. There are days when you're just going to knock it out of the park. There are days when you are going to struggle. Maybe you didn't have a good night's sleep the night before, and so you could only fast 15 when you really wanted to fast 22. It's okay. None of us are perfect fasters, and we can't do, you know, like Instagram is all about perfection and putting only your highlight reels out there. When you have a page like this, you have to show people that
We're all only human.
It's real life. There are ups and downs in real life. There are ups and downs in fasting. No journey is going to be perfect. No day is going to be perfect. And just to embrace the moments when fasting is easy and you knock it out of the park, but also embrace the days that fasting is harder. And that gives you the opportunity to learn and grow and to say, you know what? It probably was harder for me because I didn't get enough sleep and I ate a huge piece of chocolate cake.
Yes,
and so that's
yes,
why I'm
yes,
starving the next day.
I always say to people, look, you will discover why your fast is hard. Certain foods will make your fast harder. Certain things in your day will make your fast harder. Even if you haven't drank enough water, it will make your fast harder. So there's loads of different reasons why. And when you look at it and you become in tune to it, you can nearly you figure out exactly why it was hard and exactly why it was easy. And all that is a learning process. We learn from it. And then we say to ourselves, oh, well, I'm not going to make that mistake again. And then we
100%.
probably will make the mistake again anyway.
I was going to say, but then you do, and you go, oh yeah, that was why I didn't. But you know what? You have to discover, and it's taken me 1.5 years to really discover, to get into my groove and to say, okay, this is what works for me. This is what makes things harder. But you have to be able to give yourself grace for when you mess up and
100%. And 100% I agree that, you know what, I was only saying to somebody today, I haven't reached my goal. I don't know what my goal is. My goal is always going to continuously change. As I grow, as I change, as I age, my goal is going to change and grow too. And it's about accepting the journey and enjoying fasting every step of the way. I say to people all the time, if it's torture, don't do it. If it's extremely torturous every day, it's not for you. It's supposed to be enjoyable. You're supposed to feel good around fasting.
Well, and I can tell you too that food has never tasted so good.
I know.
And
good quality food. I really appreciate good quality food now, where it was never something that I ever really thought of before. I'd be thinking of the price, or I'd never think of where I get my food from. All of a sudden now I'm like, no, you're better off getting the good stuff. It's nicer, it feels nicer, it tastes nicer, everything about it is better.
Yeah, it's a celebration, definitely. But the one thing that I want people to leave this with is knowing that your fasting journey is your fasting journey. Mine is not yours. Karen's is not your fasting journey. You must develop your own fasting journey. No one can tell you how to fast. No one can tell you what to put in your body. No one can tell you, how to make it fit into your life, because every single one of us is a unique individual and we have unique situations in our life.
100%. 100%.
If you want to make it work, you have to figure out what works for you only. Yeah.
And I can't go into somebody's house and tell them what to eat and what fasting. I can advise people and support people and help people as best as I can. But at the end of the day, ultimately, the food you were brought up on is completely different than the food I was brought up on. The lifestyle you live is completely different than the lifestyle I live. So you have to tailor it to suit your life.
I totally agree. Yes. But I love how we've coordinated colors here.
Oh, and I love your thankful. I love your thankful sign. It's only when I said to you, what are you thankful to fasting for? I said, I swear we put that there on purpose. But Christy, it was lovely to chat to you, and I'd love to do another chat with you again and maybe get some tips and pointers on different things that will help and benefit people, because now we've connected together, we can, keep the community strong and the fasting community, and let people ask questions and advise people as best we can on our experience and our opinions. So 100%. People follow the page. I'm going to tag it below so you'll know exactly the name of the page. And Christy, it was lovely chatting to you today, and I will chat to you again soon.
Wonderful to meet you and see you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.